Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. So there's a lot of things to get to in regards to the NBA. But I was having a conversation with my homie Bobby, and we were talking about the Clippers, and it kind of dawned on me what type of personality or what type of identity this team is taking on. The Los Angeles Clippers have taken on the identity of Kawhi Leonard. That's who this team embodies. That's the vibes that I get from their team. Even though he's not out there, they're him. they his DNA is all over this team. And what do I mean by that? Well, we all know Kawhi Leonard doesn't have the most animated of personality. You know, he's not the type of guy who's going to be jumping in your face, using all types of octaves, screaming loud. You know, when he speaks, he speaks. He chooses his words wisely, and you know what I mean. He's his own man. He doesn't go by the beat of our drum. You know, he goes by his own. But when it comes down to it, he doesn't get too high. When things are really, really, really excited, and everyone's excited around him, he's kind of chilling. When everybody's falling apart, he's kind of relaxed. He's a balanced dude as it pertains to handling pressure and handling success. And he's surgical as it pertains to the game. He goes to his go-to moves. He does what he does. He uses his skills and his huge hands to enact what he's practiced over the years, and he kills his opponent with it repeatedly. That's what he does. That's what Kawhi Leonard is. Very, 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 very surgical. And if for some reason Kawhi Leonard's down in a game, at his best, he's going to keep coming at you. If for some reason Kawhi Leonard has a situation where there's risk involved with his health, he makes the hard decision and sits down for as long as it takes. Doesn't care what anybody thinks. His team is taking on that type of personality as it pertains to how they approach these series. They be down for two games, and will win 4 straight. Twice. It's never been done before. Not in the NBA. They've done it twice in these playoffs. Why? Because even though they've been down 0-2, even though Kawhi went down and Serge Ibaka went down with potentially season-ending injuries, they had the next man up mentality, the never get too high, too low, balanced approach. Even when they're down in games, down huge, doesn't matter. Here they come. Maybe they don't look like they have as much talent as the next team. Doesn't matter. Here they come. Maybe they're not shooting as well as they would like to. Maybe not playing defense as well as they would like to. Doesn't matter. Here they come. Step outside of my Lakerdom when I say this, but that team looks like the making of an NBA champion to me. It's not because they're more talented than everybody else, but it's because they are a team that comes together and doesn't lose their balance in the face of pressure. And to be honest with you, they've been losing players, key players, and they still manage to find big games out of people. We got everybody playing great for Ty Lue. Guys like Marcus Morris, Nicholas Batum. An important piece, Patrick Beverley is healthy and shooting well. That's dangerous for the NBA. Terrence Mann has stepped into his own now. He's somebody that you're going to have to game plan for and double team. You know, and of course, Paul George playing some of the best playoff basketball of his entire career. Looking like he's exercised every demon. And look like he's well on his way to leading his team to the finals. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if Chris Paul ain't there, I don't think that Phoenix is going to be able to overcome what it is that I just described to you. As good as Phoenix is, and they are very good. They are very good. But without Chris Paul, I don't know how they beat this relentless team with these wing defenders. Because the Clippers have the Pat Beverleys, they have the Paul Georges, they have the Terrence Manns. These are defensive players. They can throw at you. Guys like Batum, long wing players that will chase you out there. Zubac, a big center who shoots free throws very well, is not afraid of contact and is continuing to improve. Still young, in good shape. This Clipper team is playing their best basketball at the absolute right time. And they don't seem to be afraid by or rattled by sudden failure or big deficits. They just keep coming. So I'll tell you right now, it doesn't really matter if the team in front of them is better than them. They got to have a stronger mind than them, because as far as I can tell, the Los Angeles Clippers are the strongest, mentally toughest team left. And I know why that is. It's because they were ridiculed, made fun of by people like myself, Laker fans like myself, who've once again had the celebration of watching them go through the biggest humiliation probably any sports team has gone through in quite a while. Having been the favorite all year long, built their whole team to beat LeBron, did all that they did with the commercial for Kawhi and all that nonsense they had going on, and to fizzle out in the way that they did. To not even be available when the Lakers were available, waiting there for them. After all that wolf and all that talking about how they going to beat the Lakers, all that stuff, the press that they were doing, the press that was surrounding them, the hype, all for it for them to just fizzle out. Paul George hitting shots off the side of the backboard, down the clutch. Players not showing up. Players not wanting to play in the bubble. Distracted, upset. Lou Williams in that situation. It was a lot that went wrong with the Clippers situation, and it felt like karma. But what it did was made them tougher. It was the exact adversity. It was the exact humbling event that they needed to turn them into what it is that they've become today, which is a team that's not rattled by a whole lot because they've been put through so much. They put themselves through a lot by obsessing over the Lakers and forgetting that there were other teams like Denver and Dallas to worry about. They learned their lessons. They improved their team. They exercised some of their demons, got players off of the team that needed to go, replaced them with steady personalities and players that were positionless who could help them on the defensive end, particularly at the perimeter. They did what they needed to do to make sure they had the facilitator that necessary to finally make their offense cohesive, which is something I'd been calling for them to do for over a year and a half. Picking up Rajon Rondo. They believe in Terrence Mann. They made sure they didn't push him too far in the back of the bench this season, made sure that they gave him opportunities to play throughout the season. And now in the playoffs, he's ready to go. They fired their coach, which was controversial because he had been given so much power and had been heralded as one of the greats, but honestly, he just was not able to get the most out of their unit. They replaced him with a guy like Ty Lue, who was controversial in some ways. A guy in Ty Lue who had negotiations with the Lakers that had fallen apart. After celebrating his birthday thinking he was going to get that Laker job. I'm sure he hasn't forgotten that. Triumph, man. It's a lot to celebrate, particularly about this coaching situation in the series. Because you look at Monty Williams, he's the other coach in that situation that was going for that Laker job, didn't get it. Look at that. It's a lot to like about these playoffs, man, because the storylines, you're seeing things come about. Now it's the Clippers that are sitting here waiting at the Western Conference Finals. And where are the Lakers? Where are we at? It's funny how karma works. It comes back around full circle. We celebrated receiving Montrezl Harrell like we had done something right, as if we didn't enact the same thing on the Clippers that the Clippers has enacted on us so many times with Chris Paul and various situations such as that. Sometimes the get back ends up giving you the same karma that you now are trying to retaliate against. See, that's what ended up happening to the Lakers. Now the shoe's on the other foot. We're looking kind of funny. Our guys are hurt. Our guys are sitting back saying, man, we wish we were out there. We wish we had Rondo. Where's Rondo? He's on the Clippers. This don't feel good to say this. I'm a Laker fan. I'm on the wrong end of it. But on this channel, we tell the truth. Because we can celebrate when the shoe is on the other foot. We got to sit here and show appreciation when the shoe isn't on ours. And the Los Angeles Clippers are in the Western Conference Finals, and they should be very, very pleased with themselves. Their fans should be excited. They should feel like LA is their town for now, at least for this summer. Because they did what the Lakers weren't able to do, and that was keep it going. But they have not won a championship. They have not brought us 17 of them. They have not done for Los Angeles what they should. Not yet. But with the resilience that this team has been put through, if any Clipper team can do it, this unit can. I hate to say it, but I'm a believer. See, they had me shook when they were playing the Utah Jazz. I had them winning the series in 6, and then I reneged because Utah got a 2-0 lead, and I couldn't imagine the Clippers doing the same thing twice. Coming back from a 0-2 deficit, winning 4 straight. But they did. They did. So that instills a different level of confidence, a new confidence that I have in this Clipper team that shows me they can face adversity repeatedly and win. Usually teams that do that win it all. And they have a tall task ahead of them because that Phoenix Sun team doesn't make too many mistakes and they blow people out. You can't get an 0-2 deficit against them and think you're going to win. It's going to be difficult to do that. I promise you that, especially if Chris Paul's coming back within the first 2 games. We got to see how that goes. Turns out he was vaccinated. He was vaxxed. So that bodes well for him taking those tests and possibly passing one before this series begins. Hopefully that happens. I believe they play tomorrow. But in the event they don't, the Clippers, undermanned themselves, are going to have to come in there and try to find a way to get the victory. But seeing as how they've played better without Kawhi Leonard, it seems, I don't see why they can't go in there full strength, even without him, so to speak. And that's assuming he's going to miss the entire series, which I believe he is. But in the slight event that he does come back, the slight chance that he does come back, this Clipper team is able to throw this Phoenix Suns a full strength Clipper team. Look out. Look out. Because this team has his identity, whether he's down there or not. Firing Doc Rivers was a good decision, y'all. I hate to say it, but it's true. But there is an opportunity for the Clippers to actually see him in the finals after all of this. Can you imagine it? The storylines all over this playoffs. Unbelievable. Gotta appreciate it. No super team. No superstar. No team with the edge. Just a bunch of teams left that are fighting for their lives. And the Clippers seem like the toughest one left. My name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.